I don't really ask them about myself. I just like,
Right.
oh, can you just introduce yourself? Then after that, I'll be like, okay, so what are some trends that you've seen on TikTok that you think are interesting? What are your favorite trends? That's
Right.
usually an indicator.
Right.
Like if they tell me like a trend from like 6 months ago, I'll be like, okay, this is not a fit, you know.
Right. Oh my
And
God.
I would fill this interview.
I would.
You would ace it.
I would. Yeah.
You would ace it.
Unfortunately. Yes, I'm on TikTok too much.
Okay.
It's a good trait to have. You know, you're in tune with the young people.
Welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business as You with Tamit and
Ashwin.
all right. This week we have Nicole Phua. Enjoy.
Yeah,
TikTok
for sure.
is really, of course, very popular. You know, as an advertising and media platform. A lot of the scrolls that I see now is sponsored,
Yeah.
right? Even
And
though
now,
I
like
don't.
every three TikToks, you get a sponsored post.
Yeah.
And
They're
I don't
pushing
think
it
some
out.
of them are even ads. They're just, I don't know.
They're just random people boosting their posts.
Yeah, boosting their posts on.
it?
Yeah, so Ash,
you
you
can
could
post
just.
your own post also.
Like there's a recent one like I keep seeing was the the guy will be like my girlfriend asked me to do a voiceover of her day in her life.
Right.
This is her brushing her teeth. Oh, but she's using Sensodyne. Then I was like, this is definitely an advertisement for Sensodyne. Then you see at the bottom like sponsored. I was like,
Sponsored.
okay.
Like, it's a guerrilla marketing,
yeah.
right? It's like you don't know that it's actually an ad, but later on then you realize,
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's actually
because
quite
it's part
smart,
of the
you know?
trend. So they are following the trend, right?
Right.
And then you're just like, oh,
Mhm.
it's a trend video. And then after like 5 seconds or 10 seconds into it, because it's
Yeah.
not that long, right? Then you're just it's an ad.
It's how do you
Yeah.
capture that attention for the first 5 seconds maybe, and then okay, now I've invested 5 seconds. Let me finish whatever. I remember this trend. There's a cat that moves up. So government like CPF and all this started.
Was this in the 1960s?
No. I swear it was 6 months back. There's just like a cat thing that goes up, and then okay, never mind. But the point I'm trying to
Okay.
make
As two
is that
TikTok, professionals, right?
sure.
We don't know this trend, man.
Sure. The point I'm trying to make is that even, the Singapore government agencies have started to use this and hop on the
I think that
bandwagon.
I see
right?
a lot of
Ministers.
not only ministers, like government bodies. Like the recent one was the Singapore Police Force where they were like doing the
SPF
car
is
thing,
damn
right?
good at it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like honestly, SPF is quite dope, man. Yeah.
It is, it is.
Hey,
It
arrest
is.
me, man. I want to be in the TikTok videos.
The point of it was for you to be inspired to join the police force, not to be a criminal.
There's 2 ways to appear on the video. I want to be the other guy. It's easier.
Wow.
Less of an interview process.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Okay.
NEA, but you do like I think it's quite interesting because you do get like old people. You get
Older people.
from the older generation
Yeah.
who are getting on TikTok and they are putting out content, right?
Yeah.
Which is like interesting because I cannot imagine my mom like giving opinion pieces. Like, it would be so wet.
Yeah.
Like imagine you just gather a room full of like Indian aunties who have been on TikTok for hours and they just
Right.
discuss. Like, and then like record them like yeah.
That's some gold content there.
Yeah. So I mean, but you know that whole switch from when we moved from like Facebook where it was a lot of like posts and then like even now like you get the reminder of your cringy posts and then to move to Instagram where it was again posts but it was more of like photos and then some write-ups and then to Instagram
TikTok, which is video.
no there was Instagram Reels Reels was first, right?
Yeah,
no,
but
TikTok was
no.
first.
No, stories. Instagram
Stories,
stories.
Stories was first, yeah.
And then when we were like, oh shit, I can stalk people like from the minute they woke up to like the and then to TikTok, right? So you have seen the whole trend, right? How do you think that that switch, right? How does it take place? Like to me, because I'm not in the industry, I feel like it's overnight. Like suddenly I'm on TikTok and like right, and then you're just like, when did this start? Was it 2020? Was it 2019? Like when did we move into TikTok?
Was it COVID?
It was
Maybe COVID
actually
was
it
the
started
catalyst.
slightly before COVID already. Then
Yeah.
TikTok got really big during COVID because people had nothing to
So it was popular in China, right, at first, because then it slowly made its way to the rest of the world.
Douyin.
Douyin, yeah. They
Douyin,
started with
right.
Douyin first,
Douyin,
yes.
yeah.
Dude, ByteDance products are like insane.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they are so advanced in the way they do their videos, right?
The algorithm is really top tier. Like
The-
Reels can't even match up to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was the girl who did the 8.7 million.
Sales within.
Oh, the one where
Yeah.
she passed the
Yeah.
3-second one. Yeah, but she
Yeah,
got banned in the end.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
But she made 8 million. Like, please,
Like,
Yeah,
like,
she
give
made
me
back.
8 million
Yeah.
and ban me.
She made back. Yeah.
Buy a
That's
nice
true.
villa in Bali and just live off the grid, man.
Yeah.
Like, Right.
You can try.
Amazing.
Start your own trend.
So
I'm waiting.
how long
Nicole,
has
I'm
it
waiting
been?
for us.
How long has it been since you started TSA?
It's been almost 3 years.
Wow.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Right.
Yeah, sometimes I look back and whenever I need to submit my what's that?
Annual-
UFS.
Mhm.
Then I'll be like, oh shit, it's been 3 years.
Right.
I'm like, oh my god, so much time has passed.
Nice.
But
Right,
does it
yeah.
get tiring? Because like, is there an algorithm that you follow? Or, because trends keep changing, right? And then, like, I might not be into this trend. I may be into another trend, and then these trends keep changing, and I'm always trying to reach out to as much people as I can. Right? Does it get tiring? That whole.
Keeping up with the trends, I guess, like all of us, like we scroll TikTok at home,
Yep.
like before we sleep. So like that's our research already.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it comes a bit more naturally compared to like if your job is to go and read papers to
Right.
find out more about like what's trending in that industry. So for us, like, because a lot of our clients are very consumer based, so we just need to see what people want to watch.
Yeah.
For that specific segment, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what would be an example?
I guess for beauty,
Okay.
people are very into like say retinol now. They
You know?
his
No,
his
what?
face is like
I've never heard that word in my life, bro.
yeah. So
Retinol.
you guys should start exploring retinol because past 30 years old.
Is that a wrinkle thing?
What is that?
No, so retinol helps.
Sounds like
you
something
to.
with your. Never mind. Continue.
It's an ingredient in
Oh,
skincare.
Okay.
Right.
Thank
Like-
God I
like
did not finish
collagen.
the sentence.
Like collagen, right? like collagen? Something like collagen?
No. It's like vitamin A, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So it helps
Yeah.
your skin to. I don't know lah. Actually, I don't know what the thing
A
is.
beauty
I just
product.
know that it's a great product
Right.
and that you should use it to look young.
Okay.
Yeah. So like that. So that's the stuff that we identify, right? So
Yeah.
when we do, so one of our clients is they make beauty content. So we have to look at what types of content are trending. So for example, maybe the beauty segment on TikTok, they are like running this certain trend, like a transition trend, for example. Then we will let our clients know, this is something you might want to hop on. Or like if there are more like evergreen trends when like maybe like certain brands are trending, then we'll be like, oh, maybe you want to review this product on your page, for example. Yeah. So that's how we usually work when we identify trends.
Right.
Yeah.
Do
A lot of scrolling.
hashtags matter?
I think they do to a certain extent. For Instagram and TikTok, they have both sort of like reduced the amount of
Right.
hashtags required in your video. They are more tagged to search optimization.
Okay.
So in your caption and in your video captions,
The
you
keywords.
Yeah.
Is it?
have your keywords in there.
Right.
Hashtags don't matter as much anymore. It's like they like cap it. They're like 3 to 5.
Mm.
I think recently it was 3 even.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, on TikTok also, there's like people still post like 10, 15
Yeah,
hashtags, right? But
honestly, it's like
I've never searched a video based on hashtag on
Same.
TikTok. Right. Right.
yeah.
So the
I
depth
thought
of
the
the hashtag.
search bar, right? Let's say you're looking for, example, Liverpool stuff, right?
Right.
So you type of Liverpool and then everything hashtag Liverpool will come out or something like that.
Depends. Like the accounts come out.
Right.
People talking about Liverpool come out.
Right.
Okay. A guy living in Liverpool comes out. Like a
Some guy-
Possibly.
Some guy
Yeah.
talking about the liver in
Yeah.
a pool
Yeah,
comes out or
yeah,
something.
yeah, it's so interesting, right?
Random.
It's true. It's true.
You know, right? Honestly, right? Like compared to Instagram,
Mm.
it's so much easier to find what you need on TikTok.
Yes.
Right? Like yesterday I was with yesterday I sent my mom to the airport. So I was talking to my aunt. And then we were talking about this place, like, oh, we want to travel and visit. And she was like, yo, let me do some research. Then she pulled out TikTok and she was just Googling, like, not Googling, like,
TikToking.
Yeah, searching on TikTok. And I was like, what's going on? She said,
TikTok is the new Google.
I'm doing research.
Yeah, like for travel, you want to see what's the best restaurant and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
but then
Yeah, sure.
again, it comes down to like the whole social media thing of like, people only put up what they want people to see, right?
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
you can't get the full
No, but you get a lot of user-generated content, right? So sometimes, of
So
course,
it's
as a
less-
brand, you put out your
It's
good
less
stuff,
censored.
but then you have people doing reviews on,
Right,
on your restaurant,
Yeah.
for example, right?
Actually,
And then-
brands get taken down really quickly on TikTok when somebody posts
Yeah.
something like
Yeah.
rabak about them.
Is it?
Yeah.
So that's the like downfall of using TikTok.
I wouldn't say it's a downfall. I think it's to keep the brands in check sometimes.
Right.
Like sometimes they just like they need to check
So
themselves.
have you
out.
ever had a client whose content got taken down and then they came back to you and like Nicole, what are you doing, man?
Oh no, we never.
Right. So you're
Like,
very careful
We
in the
try
way
to be
you're
very
curate.
very brand safe when
Right.
we do our content.
Is there like
Mhm.
so you do have people that read the whole TikTok guidelines and like the whole contract and like what can be posted and what can't be posted, or is it a trial and error?
we see other people get caught, then we okay, better avoid
Yeah, it's an
it.
industry
The
thing, right?
Singaporean style.
Yeah. It's an
Right.
industry thing, right?
Yeah, for
You
sure.
will definitely test the water a little bit before you put something, or you see someone else getting trouble. Yeah, maybe don't do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yes.
for us. It's a bit more intuitive because, like, usually last time in the past, advertising is very based. Like, people follow brand guidelines very very closely.
Right.
So now it's not. We don't follow it as closely for TikTok usually because we ask our clients to let their brand go a bit so that they can relate to the Gen Zs. If not, they're not very authentic looking
What
enough.
what would be an example of that?
of a brand that has let themselves go. Duolingo.
Hmm.
They are one of the best case studies that we usually tell our clients about.
Duolingo is the app that you study
Languages, right?
Languages, yes,
Right.
yes.
They let themselves go in the good sense.
It's insane. Just you can look at their content.
Okay.
They use their mascot and then they just basically shit post.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, like the intern who was running the account came out in the news because she grew their following to like a few million.
Right.
Yeah,
Duolingo
just
is
by shit
Singaporean?
posting. No.
No.
Yeah,
I thought it's a European company or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
European.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Hmm.
So you want to tell clients that at the end of the day just trust the process and like
Trust
Just trust the process, man. I mean, for
trust the
us,
expert.
like, we will definitely not do controversial stuff because if we know, and especially if it comes from a brand, people are very, very critical.
Right.
So we try not to go too much,
Right.
go on to the deep
Right.
into the deep end for client material.
Right.
So yeah, we are basically the last line of defense
mean,
for them.
so like talking a bit about that whole aspect, right? Like cancel culture has become such a intense thing.
Yeah.
Right.
For
And
sure.
how detrimental is it for you in the advertising space that you constantly have this at the back of your mind?
I think having woke Gen Zs to
Right.
check your content is
very
It's a safeguard, right?
it's a safeguard. Yeah.
But don't you think they've become a bit? Never mind, I
So,
don't
you
wanna
know,
say.
He's like people are too sensitive about
no,
this
honestly,
already.
like if I were to hire someone, I would hire like someone who gets triggered very easily.
But I'll get, yeah, but I'll get triggered. Him getting triggered, I'll be like, dude, let's just relax, man.
No, like that guy
Chill,
is your
chill.
last line of
Oh, yeah,
safeguard.
Dude,
Yeah,
you
bad-
will
bad
never
discount.
release content.
Like I would name it the trigger department. Like, if this
Yeah, I feel
guy
like nothing will get released. Like you just send it to them, it's like, oh, too many guys in the video.
where's the representation
Yeah,
of
where's the
yeah,
representation?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Singaporeans are not as they are not as concerned
Hmm.
about stuff like this as compared to other
People
countries.
with less things to do.
Yeah, so for us, it's generally, I think the rule of thumb is just don't be offensive to people who are a minority,
Right.
basically.
Yeah,
It's getting harder and harder.
yeah. Because
It is definitely getting
the-
harder. Yeah.
like everybody seems to be a minority nowadays,
Right.
right?
Now you can
Mm.
identify as some minority.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
You can identify as neurodivergent.
Which
No
is
idea what that
Well,
means.
technically, you are neurodivergent because you got ADHD.
undiagnosed. Yeah, it's but I guess that I mean like then again when we were growing up, like no one ever told us we had ADHD, right?
Yeah.
They just call us naughty kids, right? So
Yeah.
bad boy.
just sit down, like stop running around. Like that's all we got. And
Yeah.
then now you get the whole like, oh, he's ADHD. We
Mm.
gotta allow him the creative space or allow her the creative space to like, explore their
Mhm.
ADHDism.
Mhm. Coming from a brown parent, that just doesn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's interesting because like one of my founders of my agency, right?
Yep.
Like for our company, right? He used to go around and tell people he's a minority. So he's this like 60-year-old man, Chinese guy,
Probably met him actually.
yeah, Chuan. Right?
Yeah.
But and he's amazing. Like I really love him. He's super passionate. But he always tells people he's a minority, right?
Why?
Because he built the business just based on he only had his O levels. Right. So a lot of people told him that he's not going to make it in life. And then to him, he feels that his success story is from a minority perspective where his competition is all like
Degree holders.
people who are degree holders and all that, and he's a O-level graduate, right? And he's competing with these guys, and so he's a minority. And so I understand that, right? So I was like, when he told me the first time, he was like, you know, you're a minority, you have to do well, you know, you have to fight and everything. And I was like, yeah. And then he's like, I'm also a minority.
Then you
know?
were like scratching your head.
At first I'm like, huh? then he was like, then he explained it to me, and I was like,
Okay.
yeah, fair. And for me, it's like, yeah, that's fair. You are a minority in whatever
In that aspect.
in that
Yeah,
aspect,
yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
we cannot just assume that race is the only minority
Yeah,
topic,
yeah.
right? And then one day we were in the lift, and then he walks in, and then he's like, he starts like, so the lift has other people, right? So he goes, hey, you're a minority, you know, you must like. You must do your best, you know. Yeah, I was just like, okay, boss. Then I think he realized that people are looking. Then he said, but I can see, you know what? I'm a minority. People got even more like. So they were getting offended from me, and I was just like,
Oh my
I
god.
burst out laughing because, like, for me, I knew the context, I understood it, but no one else did, right? So yeah, I mean, like, yeah. So I really do wish the world was less sensitive, and you know, like we take moments like this to just like
No,
to
okay,
laugh and
going back to your story, right? Getting offended on behalf of someone.
yeah.
Do you think that's a trend or that's been happening more and more?
I guess that is the basis for cancel culture.
Right?
But there is a mix lah. So I guess like for example, when what's that fella's name? The presidential candidate who said Malay's favorite color is green.
Yep, that guy. What's his name?
Tan
Yeah.
Kin Lian, yes.
Yes.
yeah. So I think like stuff like this is straight offensive, right?
That would have been a very entertaining presidency.
He would have been the Trump. He would have been the Trump of Singapore, man. It would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Like, I would watch his content.
Yeah.
Just to know that like this is my president. Like,
Oh my god.
yeah.
It
But
was so cringe.
yeah, but as in I think that like, you know, as I said, I feel that does it bother you to have this cancel culture looming over your head? Do you feel that it kind of hinders the creative process or content generation process where there's a lot of like light moments that, you know, people are not allowed to talk about?
Definitely to some extent. Like we will sometimes when we come out with ideas, then we're
Right.
like, oh shit, we can't shit on like another brand, or we can't
Right.
shit on this person because
Yeah.
whatever, you know,
Yeah.
there's
No matter how funny it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it does help with the creative process because sometimes you can come up with something better without being offensive.
Right. So you are in a sense saying that you're forced into a position where you have to grow.
Yeah.
Right. Right. Oh, yeah. I mean, that's one way to look at it.
So 3 years into the business now, right?
Long time.
If I were to ask, okay, what is one of your biggest takeaway?
Oh, so many. I would say sometimes it's good to learn from other people's mistakes instead of trying it yourself and learning them yourself.
Right. So do
Yeah.
you feel that you're a very stubborn person when you first started?
I think I am still a stubborn person.
Right. But have you grown in that? Like, as in,
I think I'm definitely like more open to like people telling me or giving me feedback.
right,
Yeah,
right.
than I was before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so why did this shift happen?
Firstly, sometimes you get humbled by your employees.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah. Secondly, I think I realized that my perspective isn't always
Right.
the right way or like the only way.
Right.
Like I realized that there are a lot of options in terms of how you can do things out there that are either just unexplored or like that I just do not know of.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this process, was it was this a process thing, or was it that one moment where you suddenly was like, oh wait, damn, I need to change certain aspect?
Ooh, I think it was more like a process thing. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't really have like a
Incident.
moment. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think building a creative advertising space is always going to be tough, right?
Yeah. If someone were to, start their own agency, what's one piece of advice that,
Oh, I would say have a good portfolio, choose the right clients. If you're gonna do free work. And also choose the right partners. Yeah. People you can work with as vendors may not always be good partners to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when we're talking about like partnership also, right? I mean, when you first started the business, you had a partner, and along the way, you all had differences, and you all went your own separate way.
Yeah.
Right. So if you could restart it, would you do things differently, like, or
I'm not sure actually.
Right.
Like, okay, last time when people asked me like, would you do this again? I would just say no. I was
Really?
like, yeah, I'm suffering, dude.
right? Wow.
No lah, okay, not say suffering. Like, I think there are definitely like pros to being your own boss, which is that you have full autonomy over what you can do.
Right.
You get to do, you get to try new things without having to go through like layers and layers of approval from like, your bosses or whatever. But I would say that the process and getting to where I am now, like, I could have just worked at a job, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
So you feel that that move to starting your own agency, if you could restart it, it would have never happened.
I might not have chosen that right again. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's interesting. Like,
that's a very candid, honest.
Right. I think you're one of the first few people who have said that.
Admitted it.
Oh yeah.
Right. Because, you are representing a brand, blah, blah, blah,
Right.
That's
So, if I'm not wrong, right now you're a solo entrepreneur in the business.
Ish.
Right.
Yes.
Is it very different from working with a partner? And honestly, okay, what do you think is the biggest difference?
I would say that things move along a bit more fast.
Okay.
Because it doesn't have to go through 2 rounds of approvals. And I don't have to check in to see whether I can get something done. I'll just get it done.
Right.
Then the cons of it is that I don't have someone to like bounce ideas with anymore. But to be honest, now what I do now is that I'll just ask my team, like, what do y'all think of this? Like, do you think that this is something that we can explore, for example? Yeah, then that's usually how I go about it.
Being an employee, when your boss asks you, what do you think about this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you
they're
already
more
have
inclined, right? To say,
inclined,
like,
yeah, boss, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I guess unless you give them that space to like.
Yeah, my kids are like, bro, they tell me they want to quit their job in front of me.
The audacity.
Like, no, I'll quit my job. No, but you know what? It's completely understandable because Gen Zs will never stay in a place for a long time.
Right. It's so
Yeah,
different
they
from
always
our-
want to try something
That's
else.
another struggle.
Yeah, because like our parents' generation was the complete opposite, right? Where they
Yeah, they want to stay at
they
a job
would
for 5
die.
years.
They would like, I would die at this desk. Like
Yeah,
this is my desk. Like
My desk now.
bury me with my desk. Like,
Yeah.
And then you get like our generation where we have the 5 years and the 4 years, and then like when we make a move, we are still very like
Hesitant,
safe
maybe.
and like
Yeah.
and then we are getting from like top down, like people are like, you shouldn't change jobs so often. And then you just see Gen Z's like floating around like
Yeah. They're really like, 6 months, time to go to the next job.
right. And I mean for you, because you hire a lot of
Interns.
you will hire a lot of interns, right? So
Yeah, interns and Gen Zs lah.
so you get a lot of
Short term.
short term, and turnover is high.
Actually, most of the interns that I hired ended up being like long-term
Right.
interns.
I also feel that because
Yeah.
Gen Zs are lazy. They're like, I want to quit my job,
That's
but
an interesting opinion, Ash.
I want to quit my job, but I don't want to find for a job. It's like
I think a lot of them, like, they have a very like long list of requirements when they want to look for their next job, right?
right.
So that takes time to find. Yeah. And I think that I have sort of built an environment where
it takes
like,
a lot of this.
it's gonna be difficult for them to find somewhere else that can match this level of culture and freedom that I give them.
Right.
Yeah, because I'm very hands off. Like generally, I don't like to micromanage. I don't even like to manage. So if they can just do their work and just get it done, I will leave them to go and
Right.
get it done. Like I don't like to go and like, oh, did you do this? Did you do that?
Okay.
Only if it's like important now, if like they are missing a deadline, then I'll be like, oh, did you do it? You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
other
interesting.
than
So do you have moments where like you feel that people like take advantage of this?
Mm.
Of you
confirm
being-
lah. I mean, I know some of them they take advantage of me of whatever like freedom that I give them.
Right.
But to me, it's like as long as you can get the work done, I don't give a shit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's very interesting, like management style, because honestly, I always feel that. But I think you're one of the first few like people that we have had, right, who works with a lot of Gen Zs, right?
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
because I think most of our generation, like we try not to work with you know, more sensitive people.
Ash, are you speaking from personal experience? Or?
No. I mean, like, okay, personally, I mean, we cannot deny that, you know, every generation has its time to shine, right? And while we are moving on to the next step, right, these guys are the new guys coming on, and they're the ones bringing the fire, the passion, the direction, right? And we need to learn to work with them.
Of course.
Right? And they are going to give us that space, right?
Yep.
But of course, then comes the whole like, I still believe that in that generation there are still people who are, you know, have that tenacity, that kind of like,
You know what? I feel like they are the smartest generation so far. Or the
They
most
are a bit
risk,
more well-educated
or,
than we were
or
at that age.
maybe the highest risk-taking generation.
yeah, but I guess that also comes with like the whole general population where, you know, our parents struggled and then they gave us a decent life, and then we are like, yeah, you know, I finish school and I start working, and then the next generation is even more.
I want to be a
spoiled.
YouTuber.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, like just like, you know,
But I guess that's a sign of progress.
that
Having the
eventually
choice.
we'll be like America.
Nah.
Like,
We're far from there.
I mean, it's
Hmm.
always there's always a starting point, lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
lah.
Okay.
So I mean, your average like age is quite young, lah, of your agency,
The youngest are like 21-year-olds.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like university.
They are still in, some of them are still in
Yeah.
uni, yes.
Okay.
What do you think about the ghosting thing? Like, do you have employees who like don't reply you, blue tick you, and all that kind of things?
Oh yeah, I do.
Really?
But not the Gen Zs though.
Right.
Yeah,
Then-
they are more Zillenials.
What
Like
what
the
is that?
in between between Gen Zs and millennials.
So age-wise, 25?
25 to
26?
27.
Yeah.
Yeah, that range. Yeah.
Zillenials.
Yeah.
And that term it makes you feel. Let's say if you're a zillennial, you feel like you don't belong in either.
Yeah, you're like kind of in between.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
caught in between.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess that the people exist, right?
And they're ghosting people. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, okay, to me sometimes it's like it's just a quick like a story, I
Sure.
guess. Like if you if I'm giving you autonomy over your work already and I need you to show up for a call at 11 a.m. and you don't, then there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's just not being professional.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the lack of accountability.
Yeah,
Right.
the lack of accountability for that is just like, please lah, like please.
Right. So okay, so I mean, with someone who is very like in that space where you're, you know, working with a lot of these younger guys, right? For I mean, business owners and all that. Our parents' generation were very like
Complete
ready to
opposite.
call,
Yeah.
right? They love being on the phone.
Yeah.
My mom, they can talk for hours on the phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then our generation, like people get a bit like, hey, why you call me? Like
Yeah.
something happened or what? Like you know,
Yeah.
because we are the text culture, right?
Yeah.
And then the next generation, like what's going on? Like
Do they call? Do
Yeah.
they pick up the phone?
no,
I
there's the
don't know.
emoji. It's the just like they just send like
They don't
GIFs.
even
like they just
send
communicate
messages.
memes, bro.
It's like
Like-
me.
Like when I'm talking to a Gen Z and then they just send me a frog, right, doing a random face. Like, have you
Right.
seen the frog memes like
Which
on
one?
Telegram
Yeah.
of like doing a random face, and then you're just
So
like,
what does
what
that
does
mean?
that mean? Like,
Like
It's just the
I'm
vibe.
gonna be
It's just the vibe.
I'm gonna be late for work or what does that mean?
are you coming to office? Then it's just a frog doing this like. Or like the frog blushing. Like, dude, like what? Please
Help us
for me.
understand.
What does the frog mean?
What does it mean? It's just the vibe.
Right.
It's just the vibe.
So how do you manage this? Like you just go.
No lah,
with
they
it,
will
like-
still give me like text replies. Then
Right.
they send the sticker lah. Yeah.
So have you become like an expert at reading stickers?
Not all the time. Sometimes I still like, what's going on? Like, what does this even mean? You know? And then they'll just be like, yeah, just because you're old.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
You know, sometimes I get that a lot, and I take it as a compliment.
What, that you're old?
Yeah, like they call me boomer, they call me stuff. And as you can see, I don't know the trends. Right?
That's,
Yeah,
that's just because you're a grumpy old man. That's different, man. Like, no one is happy to be called a boomer.
hey, what's wrong?
I mean, I would like to stay trendy, you know? Like,
yeah, I also want to stay ready. Yeah.
Like, I mean, for the time being, like maybe when I'm 40-ish, like, I'm like, yeah.
I hear when you are 40, that's where your confidence peaks.
Is it?
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's like you don't give anything. Like you have gone past all the self-confidence and insecurities and stuff. When you're 40, you kind of find out who you are. You accept yourself and stuff like that.
Right.
So can you imagine?
When we are 40?
Yeah.
It's bad time, bro.
It's
Because the
about
Gen Zs will be 30 and like, it's going to be hell because...
10 years more.
Yeah, it's gonna be hell because like we are the most confident like generation, like just, and then they are all super sensitive, and we are just like bulldozing everybody. Like, hey man,
Don't take this too seriously, by the way. When you're listening in, our dear Gen Z friends, right?
yeah, I love Gen Zs.
Right. Okay.
I mean, like, I
I
think that
love Gen Z.
like they are interesting because I think that they are that generation that is born with tech, right?
Yes.
They know tech.
Yeah.
Like I see my 12-year-old cousin like using the iPad with his pen and like he's doing things that I never even knew.
You didn't even know that
Yeah.
function existed.
Yeah. Like
Right.
it draws a line and then you hold the line and then it becomes like a straight line. Do you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I
Wow.
was like, that really helps for work. Like,
Yeah.
It's this 12-year-old kid,
Drawing
right?
lines. Yeah.
I was like, man, like yeah, so they are the tech
Well done.
friendly and yeah, so it's amazing, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But I also feel that it backs it. Like the whole ADHD thing is real. Like attention span is a problem. Have you
I
ever
think-
walked into a place, right, and don't see people not using their phone? Like everybody is just
No, on the MRT, dude. Let's say you're taking public transport. 99% everyone's on their phone, either
Yeah.
watching drama, TikTok,
but I mean,
or whatever.
on
you
public
know.
transport, I don't want to be like making friends with random strangers, dude. Like,
Hi guys, thanks for listening. Next week on Mind Your Business SG. So
Right.
you would definitely speak to you. Let's say if you do have kids, right? You would definitely speak to them.
I would definitely want to have that conversation.
don't talk to
Yeah.
other people's kids.
It's very weird.
Hey boy, come here. let me tell you. Yeah, don't do that,
Don't
guys.
do that.